Hey guys, welcome back for another video. But if you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related to hockey in the NHL overall. And I already did my series review earlier regarding the Dallas Stars defeating the Colorado Avalanche, and now the Vegas Golden Knights prevail in their series against the Vancouver Canucks. Such an underrated one in my opinion, a very entertaining one for that matter. And the Vegas Golden Knights are going back to the Western Conference Finals after being there just a couple years ago. So this is insane. Vegas Golden Knights fans, let me know in the comments below throughout this video, how are you feeling being hyped going back to the Western Conference Finals? But that's what I'll be discussing with you today, my thoughts on this series and what is next for these two teams going forward in both the Vegas Golden Knights and the Vancouver Canucks. But to start off, what a series this was. Another series where you have a goaltender that wasn't expected to play much of anything going into this year's playoffs and then comes out and does fantastic, and that is Thatcher Demko for the Vancouver Canucks. He was the only reason why the Canucks even had a remote chance of being in this game and being in, it's so hard to describe just how good Thatcher Demko was, and really, in my opinion, has fully kicked Jacob Markstrom to the curb if Vancouver does not want to give him a decent new extension, because Markstrom is a UFA now, and it would be great to have that tandem going forward. So I think Vancouver, that would be in their best interest, but Thatcher Demko is the number one for the near future, for the long future. There's no doubting that. So he was amazing. Hats off to him. It was unfortunate that Vancouver wasn't able to do anything around him. They were clearly gassed tonight, while Vegas just played such a defensively sound game, and Robert Lehner made the saves they had to. And I'm so happy for Lehner especially. Wow, did he really look remarkable at times throughout this playoff. And Marc-Andre Fleury was very solid as well when need be. That tandem is fantastic and is really going to be a two-headed monster going into this Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Stars. But getting into this series more, as you can see, Vegas outscored the Vancouver Canucks 17 goals to 14 goals throughout this series. Wasn't nearly as high goal scoring as some other series, especially that Dallas and Colorado one. They scored over 50 goals. That was nuts. But this one definitely had some very high impact games, very lopsided, up and down constantly. It is truly remarkable. But like I said, this was just insane. As we all know, Vegas came away winning 3-0 in this game 7. And now what is next for these two teams going forward? But to even backtrack on that a second, let's look at the leaders in this series. Who stepped up the most? Well, when it came to Vancouver, it was the young guns. Elias Pettersson leading the way with 18 points, had 5 points against the Canucks. And then you get to JT Miller, who was amazing all season long for them, had over 70 points, really has finally shown the kind of player that he can be, because I'm personally, as a Rangers fan, I've been watching him growing up. I even watched him play when he was in the minors. So seeing how far he's come from now is truly remarkable. He had 18 points in this year's playoffs and 8 points in against Vegas in this series. And same thing with Pettersson, obviously. But then when you get on to Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar are both out of the playoffs now. While that is upsetting, Shea Theodore is amazing. So there are plenty of other young defensemen to be interested in banking on. But Hughes had 16 points and had 6 points against the Vegas Golden Knights in this series. But then going on to the point leaders for the Vegas Golden Knights, Shea Theodore leading the way, the defenseman, 16 points, had the game winner in the series, including 9 points in total against this Vegas Golden Knights team. And then Vancouver Canucks, pardon me. And then getting on to Mark Stone. Mark Stone looked very strong as well. Had 15 points throughout this year's playoffs thus far and had 7 points against the Canucks in this series. And then, of course, Riley Smith had 13 points, unless he got in his... I wasn't sure who got that third goal, honestly. But he had 13 points and he had 5 points in this series from everything that I've seen thus far. If that isn't the case, though, let me know in the comments below, because I could be wrong on that. But overall, this Vegas Golden Knights team was amazing. Truly remarkable. And while this series was up and down, there was no question that Thatcher Demko was stealing the show for them in these last couple games. He was just otherworldly, truly. Reminded me a lot of, the Binghamtons of the world, the Matt Murrays of the world, coming out of nowhere into the playoffs and doing electric stuff. And that is exactly what Demko did. But this gives Vancouver Canucks fans a good idea of what to expect from Demko going forward into next season. You know, we all know the hype behind him for good reason. He was a higher round draft pick as the goaltender as well, so a lot of hype behind him and for good reason. But Vegas Golden Knights, wow, did they look strong throughout this year's playoffs, and they surely are going to have a very interesting matchup against this Dallas Stars team. Stars that have been scoring otherworldly as well, a team that has not been known for their offense at all, especially throughout the regular season, really overcame in this year's playoffs. So that is going to be one interesting series. I'm really excited for it, and just knowing that's going to be Vegas or Dallas in the Stanley Cup is just insane. I'm so happy with, honestly, with the majority of how these playoffs have went on, with so many surprise picks with all these teams, a lot of teams really upsetting others and advancing farther in this year's playoffs. But Vegas, wow, are they something. You don't, of course, you have Max Pacioretty, who when he can get the goal scoring up, he's fantastic. You have Shea Theodore, who has just been electric, arguably Norris caliber, depending on who you talk about. He was easily a top 10 defenseman in the regular season, in my opinion, and the list goes on and on. He was just insane. But then you get other guys, Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault, they can contribute. They're great in that top 9, of course. And then you have Paul Stastny, who's very solid at times as well. William Karlsson, Wild Bill, he really gets it done for you as well. They have so many pieces in this lineup. They're just so deep. They're arguably one of the deepest teams in the NHL besides the likes of the Colorado Avalanche that are no longer in the playoffs. And then if you, of course, look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, they are, in my opinion, the deepest team in the league. They were from the acquisitions they made at the trade deadline, but Vegas isn't too far off. They are so balanced with their offense and defense, and while that offense could definitely use a little bit more scoring, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that Thatcher Demko easily stole the show for the Vancouver Canucks in these past 3 games. There's no question in my mind that this could have very well been a done or quicker series, if you will, if Markstrom was in. Because while Markstrom is very solid, don't get me wrong, Demko came in and did something for the record books. There's no doubting that. So Vegas, let me know in the comments below. Vegas Golden Knights fans, let me know your thoughts. How hyped are you? You got to be hyped. You're going against the Dallas Stars now. I'd love to hear all your thoughts. Please let me know. I'm so excited to see what Vegas can do. Every single time they have a playoff run since they came into the league has been nothing short of amazing. So much fun to watch. And Vancouver Canucks fans, pat on the back. You guys weren't expected to have a deep playoff run at all this year, and you did just that. And you have all these young guns. That core group really gained experience with the likes of Bo Horvat, Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes. The list goes on and on. You guys have really stepped up. And that goaltending tandem, if it does stay there, if Markstrom does stay with the Canucks going forward, that is surely going to be one that is going to be very difficult to go up against for many, many years if they do stay together. So I'm very interested to see what happens with Vancouver in this offseason. But Vancouver Canucks fans, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I know you're upset, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This was a very hard-fought series between both teams and a lot of respect between the two, truly. But let me know all your thoughts, guys. I would love to hear it. This was such an amazing series. I apologize for the little mess-ups I've had in this video. It's been a very long day, especially with recording the previous one too. So much hockey to talk about, and it's kind of been overwhelming because where I am, it is a much later time where it is in Vegas, for example. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe if you like this kind of hockey content. Check out my previous videos regarding other playoff round series matchups and my trade rumor videos that I come out with recently. Expect a lot more, and help us reach 1K, because once we get there, I can start doing live streams and giving you commentary on various things. I'm really looking forward to that. So make sure you hit those buttons if you do in fact enjoy this kind of hockey content. But thank you all so much again, guys. Comment down below, and I'll be back very, very soon.